You are way overthinking your business. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. But I understand that there's a lot going on. You've been thinking about it way too long. It is time to start now. Right now. So I'm going to share with you 6 steps that you can take to start your business and get at least on the right path. I started my business back in March of 2020. I got fired kind of from my sales job when everything shut down and the whole craziness happened. And I decided I needed to do something because I was completely broke. I had 20 bucks in my pocket. I was in college and I had just dropped out of college because I couldn't afford anything. And it was kind of a rough time, I would say, in my life. And so I called my brother on the phone and say, "Hey dude, what's going on?" He's like, "What's up, bro?" And I'm like, "You want to wash some cars, bro?" And he literally quit his job right there. So he quits his job. We have no customers. We don't even have a vacuum. We have no money between us because he was working a crappy job as well. And then we decided we're just going to start this empire and we start washing cars. So we just talked to everybody we knew, created an Instagram page and said, "Hey guys, we're washing cars." My aunt finally agreed to let us detail her car, and we charged her 50 bucks for inside and out. We spent 8 hours on it, which is a combined man hours of 16 hours on this car that wasn't actually dirty for $50. She was very nice. She paid us $100 and we went straight to Home Depot and bought a vacuum. That's kind of how my journey started. If you don't have any experience, you don't have any equipment or money, you can start something too. Since then, I've done over 1,200 cars and have grown the business to make over six figures a year. And it's super comfortable. It's just me. There's very low expenses. It's very profitable. And it's one of the best things I've ever done. So I'm hoping that having these steps is going to really help you eliminate some of the overwhelming feelings associated with starting a business. It's a lot easier than it seems. Once you break it down, I'll be sure to walk you through all of this, and you're going to be able to get your business going from nothing up to something that you're actually pretty proud of. It is so incredibly fulfilling. I've tried to quit about 17 times, but I keep coming back to it because it's just worth it. So yeah, anyways, let's get started. Step number 1 is to write a business plan. This just means, what services do I want to offer and how much money do I want to make? If you want to make $5,000 a month, then you need to determine how many cars you would need to do with the specific services to make $5,000 a month. Step 2 is to go legit. This means to get an LLC and to register your business with the state. Doing all this boring paperwork and tax stuff is not the most fun part of the business. However, you're going to be super grateful that you did. If you're on a job and someone tries to sue you for something you did or maybe didn't do, they can only come after your business property and they can't touch your personal vehicles or your home or your credit. It kind of creates this protection around you and separates you from the business for liability as well as tax purposes. So it's super important to get an LLC and to register your business and make sure you're doing this right and not just doing everything under the table, because it's going to bite you in the butt in the long run. Along with your LLC, you're also going to get an employer identification number. This is an EIN. This number is going to be used to open up a business bank account. You're going to go to your local bank and say, "Hey, this is my tax ID number, your EIN, here's my LLC, and of course articles of organization." Again, I'll go over all of this in another video, but you'll open up your business bank account so all of the money can go into your bank account, and then you can pay yourself from that account to separate your personal and your work finances. This is way more important than you probably think it is. You don't want to get caught 2 years down the road mixing all of your finances together, and then when you go to do your taxes, it's a whole mess and it's not fun. So make sure you get an EIN and a business bank account along with that. Once you've defined your services and you've made it legit, now you can move on to the fun part, which is buying all your equipment and setting up your rig. This is the fun part about detailing, getting your rig set up, getting all your equipment, making it look professional, your t-shirts, hats, all that kind of stuff. What I recommend for starting out with your equipment is to just start with what you have. If you detail on the side already, you have a little bit of equipment, don't go drop $5,000 on a brand new steam cleaner, extractor, new vacuums, tornadors. There's like a million things. Trust me, I have been there and I've done that. And what happens is most of that stuff just ends up in the trash and you don't purchase it again because you realize you never needed it in the first place. I don't have time in this video to talk about all of the equipment that you're going to need, but I'll do a full breakdown for different price points and budgets. That way you can kind of get an idea of what is affordable for your specific situation. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, then watch the other video. So now that you have your business plan, you have your LLC, your business bank account, you're registered with the state, now you can start taking on your first customers. Being a professional detailer just means you detail as a profession. You clean cars for money, you're a professional detailer. Now, not every professional detailer knows exactly what they're doing, and that's when training and time and practice comes along. So now we're going to get to getting customers. This is the scary part, but it's also extremely rewarding when it all works out. Step number 4, I'll break down into 3 parts. The 3 best ways I have found to get customers. Getting customers at the beginning of your business is like guerrilla warfare. You're going to be doing everything you possibly can in order to get one person to pay you for your services. This is super important. Once you get the first, the second is so much easier, and the third is even easier. But your most effective tool for getting customers is going to be your website and your online presence. I'm going to create a website using Squarespace. Just pay for the basic plan. I want my services listed. I want my pricing listed, or an estimated pricing. I recommend doing a range of this is how much it could cost for specific vehicle sizes. And I also want a gallery of the work I've done. That's going to grow over time, so don't worry about it too much. And one thing that's super helpful is to have a photo of myself in front of a cool car. Maybe I'm posing with like the gun or something like that, or I'm like crouched cleaning a wheel, you know, getting that action on. But what it's going to do is allow people to see who am I trusting with my vehicle. I think it's very important because people buy from people, and if they see you, a picture of your family maybe on the front of your website, then they know, okay, this is a human being detailing my car, not a corporation, not a big company. And you'll be surprised about how much that actually helps. So once you have the website, I'm going to be handing out business cards, flyers, pamphlets, whatever. Print off a couple hundred flyers for $20 and go into your neighborhood and say, you know, knock on everybody's door, hand them a flyer, get to know them. The idea is you want to get your foot in the door as quickly as possible. Now, I recommend doing these first several cars for a discounted price. If you want to make $5,000 a month, then you're probably going to need to charge about $150 to $200 per car if you have the volume. However, at the beginning, there's no problem with charging $100 and telling the customer, hey, I just started my business. I want to give you guys a discounted rate so I can enhance my skills and show you what I can do. And then when you get this customer, you're going to treat them like they are the most important thing in your life. And you're going to do the very best job that you could ever do on any vehicle ever and impress the crap out of them. Because this customer is going to be your lifeline that you're going to hang on to as they review your business and they share it with their friends. That is going to be your best tool for growing the business. It's not the Instagram page. It's not the Facebook page. It's not the crappy ad that you have circling for 3 weeks and everybody starts to ignore it. It's going to be the customer who's satisfied with their detail and they share it to their Facebook page and they share it to their friends. Because referrals are going to be your very best customers. They already have the attitude of trust because they trust the person who referred you to them, and they already have the happy customer experience firsthand, or I suppose secondhand, from their friends. So a lot of my recurring customers were referrals, and that is going to be the very best way you can grow your business. So let's recap. You have a website with your services and pricing listed on the website, a couple of photos of what you do, and most importantly, a way to contact you, either through email, through phone, through text, through the scheduling tool. It doesn't matter, but every single page needs to have a way saying, hey, if you want to schedule a detail, please call me. I'm really wanting to get your car done. Every page needs to have a contact me form, meaning they can either fill it out on the website. I think it's better to have them call you at first, and then later on down the road, as you pick up more business, you can do a scheduling tool so that you don't really have to answer every single call. Most of them will be satisfied with the information you have on the website, and they can schedule through the scheduling tool. That's a very important part of my business and how I run things. It kind of eases up the load of having to talk to and schedule in every single customer. The majority of them just do it themselves. And of course, with your website, you have a Google page where people can leave reviews and share your business with their friends. I think it's really important to take a look at the businesses around you. You're going to see kind of a trend, and you can look at it by their reviews. 150 reviews, 4.9 stars. You know that these guys mean business, and those reviews are what are driving that traffic. And then you're going to have the second tier, which is probably around 20 to 30 reviews. Those businesses are probably one-man shows, and they're probably doing very well for themselves comfortably. They're not having to work that hard to get the customers. And then you're going to have the other businesses with 3, 4, 5, 6 reviews. Those are some that maybe have a little bit of experience, but haven't prioritized getting customers through Google and getting reviews from customers. And they're going to be struggling the most, I guarantee you. For about 2 years, I didn't even know I could have a Google business page. That was the stupidest thing I ever did. Once I got my business page, it took me like a month to get 30 reviews. And as soon as I broke that 30 review mark, it was like my business exploded. Like Google was like, here, take some customers. They seem to like you. And so I recommend that more than anything else is to get a Google page and ask everybody you know to review it. I would say the 20 to 25 mark. Once you get above that, then you're golden. People are going to start calling you because of your reviews. They're going to start calling you just because they see you online more. So that covers step 4 of how to get customers. Now, step 5, we're going to determine our pricing. This is a little bit different from step 1 in the business plan because the business plan is all theoretical. We kind of have an idea of how much we want to make. However, it doesn't really work until we start doing some vehicles. So let's say you want to make for the first couple of months $2,000 a month. So we get 21 working days in the month. You want to make $2,000 in revenue. So if you make $95 a day for 21 days, that gives you your $2,000. And that's how you're going to break it down. So how many cars can you do? How many cars will it take you to do $95? Well, definitely one. A single interior, you should be able to make about $100. So the first step in determining your pricing is going to be to look at what your competition is doing. I wouldn't really pay attention to like the most prestigious shops around because their numbers are going to be a bit skewed. I would take a look at more of the mid-tier mobile guys and kind of see what they're doing because that's going to more accurately represent your business and what you could probably charge for your services. So I'd get on the phone, call 10 businesses, ask them questions about your personal vehicle. Hey, how much would it cost to do an inside and out detail on a Honda Accord in average condition? Can you give me a price range? And they're going to tell you. I would write all those down, take the average of that, and then that's going to be your goal pricing. Here in my area, the average interior detail is around $175. That's pretty normal. That's what I charge starting out on sedans. Minivans are up to $250 starting out, and then of course you have a little bit of extra fees or whatnot on top of that. I'm going to go more in depth on the pricing in another video, how to break down your expenses and your income to determine your hourly rate, because your hourly rate basically determines your profitability. So step number 6 is to make sure you record everything. Record how much money you're spending, how much money you're bringing in. This is the number one failure point for every single business, not just detailing businesses, is that people don't know their numbers. There's going to be a point in your business where you're making more money than you've ever made in your entire life, and yet you're going to feel as broke as you've ever been. The reason for that is because your income is not steady. So when it's good, you're spending like it's really good. And when it's bad, you're probably not spending as much. And so there's kind of like this imbalance in your income compared to what you're probably normally used to in having a stable W-2 job. Not to mention there's way more expenses in the business that you probably have written down. So keep track of your expenses, like your subscriptions to Squarespace or YouTube or whatever you're using, your software. And of course, your products are very important to keep track of as well. Once you keep track of all of those, then you know where your number's at. Then you can subtract those from your revenue and you can determine your hourly rate, because it's not just important to make money. It's more important to keep that money that you make. So those are the 6 steps to starting your detailing business from scratch. I'm going to be making more detailed videos about each and every one of those, so that way you can get an idea of exactly how all that works. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and all that jazz. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.